So I'm doing my presentation on veganism for athletes. This is something that I am pretty new to, so I was excited to get the chance to kind of research this to present it. Something I've tried for myself. Being an athlete, I'm always kind of like looking for ways to kind of get ahead. And I found it's hard. I will say it's very hard, but it's worth it. I felt a lot better doing this, just like physically. I've had more energy. I feel cleaner. Like I don't have so many like just internal issues. So I wanted to share this because I feel like it has a lot of real benefits. So I'm going over the myths, the most common myths that people have about veganism, which would be gaining muscle and strength, endurance, finding energy through veganism, and the last one was being lean, because there's just a lot of doubt around eating vegetables and how that would make you lean. So the first one, I might add that veganism is on the rise. So just in the past 3 years, it jumped from 1% to 6% in America. It sounds pathetic, but it's growing quite a bit, and especially among athletes, and there's a lot of professional athletes that have gotten into this, a lot of football players. The world record holder for like the strongest man is vegan, Olympic athletes. So myth number one, gaining muscle and strength. So everyone thinks that vegans are skinny and weak because they don't get enough protein, and you find protein in meat. The thing about veganism is it's not just about eating carrots and celery. There's a lot more to the nutrition behind it than I think people realize. And so when they try going vegan, they only eat the carrots and the celery and they get skinny. But there's a lot of different types of vegan foods like tofu or soy products that give you a lot more nutritional benefits, and so you tend to gain more muscle and like have the full effect of veganism. According to the textbook, which is a textbook I'm reading currently because I'm in a nutrition class, it's called Nutrition in You, plants are considered incomplete proteins. What an incomplete protein is it's a food that does not contain all of the essential amino acids that the body needs, and the body cannot produce every single amino acid, so we have to get some of that from food. And their argument is that proteins don't have all of those amino acids, but newest science has come out saying that they actually do have every single amino acid that you need. It's just in varying amounts. So eating a lot of different types of vegan foods is how you get all of your protein. So this is just a picture of some of those that the body cannot make on its own. Myth number two, energy needs. So actually this German scientist, and I don't think I can pronounce his name, Baron Justus von Liebig? I don't know, I'm not German, so. He was a chemist, and I couldn't find the year that he was like around, but he came out with these claims that said the only way to get energy is from animal products. That's the only place you'll find energy in your food, which is largely false. And actually I read somewhere that it influenced the way the American, what's it called, the Diet Association or whatever, FDA, thank you. That work that he did influenced a lot of what they have today for Americans and their recommendations. So actually what's going on is the brain consumes glycogen, which is a type of carbohydrate, and it's only found in plants actually. Now the body can run on protein, but it doesn't want to at all. It'll waste about 20 to 30% of it, according to a study by Nico Rizzo, a nutritionist professor at Loma Linda University. And so it wants carbohydrates, and meat does actually not have any carbohydrates in it. Once the animal dies, it just leaves the muscle tissue. Now I don't know if this video will play. You may have to You mind if I like take a second and log in, or? Okay. Actually, you know what? I forgot to log in, so never mind. Well, okay. So basically, what the video was saying, I don't know if you can see it. You can't really see it very well, but these are football players. Dolphins. I'm not a fan of that team, but they participated in the study, which was supposed to show, like physically show, how animal proteins affect blood and blood flow. And this is important for energy because if your blood can't get to muscle, then it's not going to work efficiently. And what they did was he's already vegan, but they fed this person and this person who's cut out these like burritos. This guy had chicken, I believe, and he had beef, and he had a plant-based like bean burrito. And they took blood samples, and then they put it in a centrifuge, and then the next day they fed all three of them the plant-based burrito, and they compared how the blood had separated out. And the fat up here that you can see, in the people that ate meat, it was cloudy, and it was, you couldn't see through it. But in this one, it was pretty clear, which is just proof that when there's more fat in the blood and thicker fat in the blood that doesn't, it's not soluble, it affects how your blood gets to your muscles. And then the last one, myth number 3, lean body mass. So the argument here is that when you fill up on meat, it makes you fuller. And plants have a lot of carbohydrates. That's the biggest issue people have with veganism and being lean. But the thing about carbohydrates is the only ones that are actually bad for you are the refined, so like potatoes or cookies or things like that. But according to Kurt Sartorius and his colleagues on a high carbohydrate intake study, unrefined carbohydrates such as bananas or sweet potatoes are actually linked to weight loss. And the other thing too is plants have a much lower caloric density, which means, so if you fill up on meat, which has a lot of more calories, you're taking in more calories. But when you fill up on vegetables, since they have less calories, you're taking in a total of less, which is why a lot of people lose weight when they're vegan. So in conclusion, there's a lot of science that's gone into this, and it's gaining popularity. People find that it's kind of a fad, you know, it's like the low carbohydrate fad or the no fat fad or whatever. But there's actually a lot of science behind this, and a lot of professional athletes are becoming more interested in this as a way to improve their game. And like I said earlier, I found that it actually has helped me. So I would encourage you all to consider trying going vegan.
Okay, Ian, would you like, and what would you